Book blurb. How to Walk, Write and Garden for the Healthy Life You Want is Dr. Amrita Basu's latest book in the Wellness Secret series. Have you ever wanted to visit a gym but just didn't have the time? This is the book you must read. It's a quick 45 minutes read for those who want health and fitness to be a part of their life. In this book, she talks about the elementary principles behind embracing everyday wellness for teens, busy moms, and those who are tied to the daily desk job. Taking one step forward was never more critical than now. This book has the author's own experience as well as scientific research and data supporting the power of walking, writing, and nature in making wellness possible in daily life. In a world with so many challenges every day, you need a daily wellness plan. This book will help you find yours. Walk the talk and start now. You were planning to buy the new gym membership and really had your eyes on this trendy activewear, right? Stop making those excuses and start walking today. Walking improves physical and mental health. It also boosts creative thinking. Walking has a global protective effect on your cognition. The best. How to Walk, Write and Garden for the Healthy Life You Want. Mind, Body and Spirit, Wellness Secret Series Book 1 by Dr. Amrita Basu, MBBS MS, edited by Dr. Abhijit Mishra, MBBS MD, copyright 2019 by Dr. Amrita Basu, all rights reserved. The first edition was printed in 2019. Website healthwealthbridge.com. This book was self-published by Dr. Amrita Basu under ABM Press. All rights reserved. Any means without the express written permission of the author can use or reproduce no part of this book in any form. This includes reprints, excerpts, photocopying, translating, recording, or any future means of reproducing the text. In case you want to do any of the above, kindly seek permission by contacting Dr. Amrita Basu at healthwealthbridge.com. Published in India by ABM Press. Disclaimer: while we have made all attempts to make the book a guide to help address the subject, we mean it as a resource to help and inform. Since health and healthcare is a constantly evolving subject, it will not hold the author responsible for any errors of omission and/or commission. This information promotes health but is not to be taken professional medical advice. Kindly consult your physician before changing your exercise routine. If you are on chronic medicine or have medical conditions, this book is not a substitute for a doctor's consultation. The second edition was printed in 2024 and it was published in India by Health Wealth Bridge. The audiobook is also published by Health Wealth Bridge. The narrator is Dr. Amrita Basu. Introduction. How can you walk, write, or garden your way to a healthy life? What is here in the book is what I learned over the last several years of my own experience. When life gives you challenges, you need your body and mind to work in sync and find solutions. Your body needs constant love and care. While proper nutrition helps your body and mind, so does exercise. But going to the gym or even going out is not an option for moms like me. This book is for those who want to build a habit for health, life, and inner peace. Walking, writing, and gardening are all parts of the spectrum of wellness habits which will help you live life better. I always loved walking, but gardening came much later in my life. Then came an unknown friend called writing. I am an ENT surgeon whose writing experience previously was only prescriptions and hospital notes. I believe learning to put one word after another is just like walking, one step after another. Just start. I wrote this book while walking on my DIY treadmill desk, and I hope one day I will hear about how walking, writing, and gardening changed your life. Chapter 1. Walking. I always loved walking. As a student growing up in the 80s in Kolkata, walking to shops, the market, part of the everyday activity. Durga Puja meant walking with your family to all the puja pandals till you could hardly feel your feet. In medical college, the campus was big, and going from one place to another to the different clinical postings meant plenty of walking throughout the day. When I fell in love with a classmate, now my hubby, the most romantic dates meant movie, restaurant, and walking all the way home from wherever we were. The feet never pained and it never got boring. In Delhi, while doing our postgrads, We were both walking and working long hours. With Delhi being a new city, walking to or fro from remote parts of the city was out of the option. During the week, when we were both at home in the evening, we went for walks around the campus at Safdarjung Hospital where we stayed. Round and round we went. The Hanuman Mandir was a stop, and so was meeting friends and colleagues on the way. This meant the post-dinner walks became much awaited. When it was the weekend, we used to go to Dilli Haat and go window shopping. May buy a few stuff or maybe not. But I loved walking amongst the colorful stalls and pretty decorations. On some days when we needed to shop for food and stuff, we walked to markets nearby. Sarojini Nagar and Lajpat though meant a trip in an auto. But walking around the market, buying stuff, window shopping and finding half the market speaking in Bengali made us sure that Bengalis were everywhere. We came back to Calcutta. Evening walks and runs around the perimeter of Deshapriya Park continued. Round and round we went, staring at the stars, whispering about the future, wondering about whether to have a baby and what not. Then I decided, since walking gave me so much pleasure and the baby was calling, I needed a walking option closer home, maybe even inside the home. When you find you need something in your life, God sends out leaflets. One such festival offer leaflet showed automatic treadmills at a whopping 50% discount. The price was sweet, and my love for walking and pregnancy planning meant the machine was bought. It became a best friend pre, during and after the pregnancy. But exactly how helpful it was, I realized years later. In 2013, with a 10-month baby, we shifted to a new job and a new town. Small town India is charming but challenging in equal measures. The encroachment by illegal stalls and shops meant walking on the footpaths impossible. The lack of traffic signals and cops meant I could hardly cross the road alone, let alone with a baby. Going for a walk became a thing of distant past. Not walking, I felt lethargic, bored and out of sorts in the evening. But I had a treadmill. Just one problem. The machine was having some issues and needed a change. But I was away from any regular authorized service center. The research revealed a shop selling treadmill nearby. On consultation, the person in charge looked at our machine and diagnosed a problem. The problem cost us 1/3 of the price we had paid while buying and 1/10 the cost of a new machine. Replacement done, the treadmill kept its promise and I started walking again. On days I didn't walk, I felt crabby, fidgety and definitely less happy than on days I did. A personal crisis had left me feeling low in the dumps. But the discipline of just getting on the treadmill and walking an hour every day, even at a snail's pace, saved my life. Sometimes all it takes is to start, one step at a time. Then repeat, persist every day until it becomes second nature. Walking benefits are numerous. Chapter 2. Walking and Writing. The Connection. Life happens when you are not planning. Back in 2013, I started my new job at a government medical college as a clinical tutor in ENT head neck surgery. Shifting to my hubby's hometown meant moving 450 kilometers away from my social support and babysitting backups. Life with a 10-month-old baby and a full-time job was a challenge, and I had no idea about it. There were no pedestrian walkways, which was free of hawkers and encroachers. This meant walking was anything but fun. Luckily, my trusty treadmill traveled well, but it was collecting dust for some times. My hubby suggested I start using it and deal with my worries with what I had and where I was. That was in 2014. I have walked on the treadmill almost every day since then. During holidays and traveling, I try to go for walks around the resort property or nature walks if possible. What happens when I don't walk? I feel bloated, unhappy, cranky and unable to concentrate. I also have the worst bouts of no walking guilt possible. You must play the cards you are dealt with. At home, when I look at my potted plants, put on my favorite nature sounds and walk away, I feel happy. I don't worry about traffic, babysitting or time of day and night or my outfit. I can just get started. But isn't walking on the grass surrounded by nature best? Studies suggest that walking itself has distinct health benefits. Plus Nature Connect does fantastic things for your immune system. mental health, and wellness. But the physical effects of walking indoors on a treadmill and outdoors are equivalent. Good news for people like us who need the boost that walking every day provides. I started journaling and blogging in 2014 too. I wrote painstakingly once a month. I had no idea what I was doing and why I was doing it. It was a difficult first 2 months. I chose my website name with care after discussing in depth with my hubby and following what Amy Lynn Andrews wrote about choosing a domain name. While I couldn't follow all the tips, I did focus on keywords around topics I loved. Health Wealth Bridge was going to be all about health tips I shared with my patients. Detailed reviews on scientific articles in the health and wellness niche and my effort to spread digital health education. I also had 2 other sub-niches, which I was planning my content around, but I was struggling with writing. I didn't know whether it was helping people. I didn't know whether I could sustain it. And I didn't know whether people were being helped. I was clueless about writing. SEO, email marketing, social media, and everything in between. But I had one thing on my side, my curiosity and persistence. I really wanted to learn how people earned money while sharing useful digital content. Any other kind of focus was not going to work for me. But when you search for answers hard enough, your brain finds ways. Things started changing when I read an article about DIY standing treadmill desk. My writing and walking life changed forever. I measured the distance between the arms of the treadmill, hunted for the perfect length and width of the wooden plank, and I was set. In life, you are as fit as your habits. Habits can make or break you. Writing and slowly strolling on the treadmill is not the highest intensity workout. But something about writing while walking makes me feel good. It makes my brain start talking and the words flow. It's almost like the actual act of my leg muscles moving, making the cogs in my mind turn faster and more talkative. It's impossible to write and walk without a treadmill desk. You can read while strolling. You can listen to audiobooks while walking, running, or jogging outdoors. But walking and writing together are possible only indoors. But what if you went for a run or a nature walk and sat back down to write? Oh, that would be lovely too. But my book is for those like me who don't have the first option. Busy moms, working professionals, writers and authors, juggling day jobs who don't want to compromise on health while writing their 1,000 words every day. After all, you have only so many hours in a day. Walking makes you feel good, positive, and all things breezy and sunny. It helps me with the hunched up posture of sitting on a bed with a laptop and feeling cramped up. It prevents me from being too sedentary. It also helps me avoid a weak back and the nagging lower back pain I have if I sit for too long. Endless sitting not only harms your basal metabolic rate, but research suggests more than 2 hours sitting is bad news for your health. Treadmill with the DIY walking desk happened because I couldn't afford the high-tech treadmills with the actual walking desks. Even though multitasking is frowned upon, this habit of mine has helped me write for the last 5 years. I've written 6 books and this one is the 7th. My blog has over 700 blog posts and I can tell you with confidence that even if you don't want to use a writing desk with a treadmill, your writing life will improve if you start walking every day. Who shouldn't walk and write on a treadmill desk? If you have a history of dizziness and vertigo due to any cause, if you suffer from motion sickness or any gait disturbances, talk to your doctor before starting. Multitasking is a problem for productive activity. But for me, clubbing a new habit like walking and a fun creative habit like writing helped. I write at least as much as I walk. This helps me do both on jam-packed days, instead of having to choose and ending up mindless binging on web series. On the next episode, I will tell you a little bit more about how creativity and walking go hand in hand. Creativity and walking. Exercise is not just about calories you burn. It has a significant role to play in the health of your bones, muscles, mental health, and emotional well-being. The weaker our body is, the more worried our brain becomes. Creativity blossoms when nourished. Walking is a perfect exercise for nourishing body, mind, and spirit. When I walk, my brain gets more focused, calmer, and organized. I know what I want to say and how to say it. This results in zero time wasted. Staring at a blank screen is forgotten. Writing freestyle and first drafts are what I do best while walking. But I also edit quicker while walking. Whatever I do, I always batch the type of work I do. This prevents the loss of focus and I am more productive. A Stanford research paper tested the effect of walking on writing. Walking improves creative thinking. Sitting down after walking retains a residual creativity boost. Walking indoors on a treadmill or walking outdoors both have a good effect on creativity. Walking increases analogical creativity, but this effect was most profound for outdoor walking. It opens a free flow of ideas and gives a germ of high-quality analogical expressions. Improves creativity in surprising ways while increasing physical activity. Presenting your ideas, legs seem to work in more ways than one. Walking helps us tap into our most profound creative ideas and find those hidden gems which lie trapped within. Walking gives us ideas. That's real. Mind-body connection helps you harness the power of your mind while making your body stronger. What science says about walking and creative thinking? Walking, like other forms of exercise, has a global protective effect on your cognition. The best part is it's low impact and can be done anywhere with zero cost. A healthy habit to instill in your kids early on. Walking helps your brain with right-brained analogic thinking, the source of all design thinking, storytelling, and creativity. Creativity helps you have loving relationship, better social health. Creativity also has a sizable social perspective. It helps us find creative solutions to problems. Walking has more effects on divergent thinking and finding innovative solutions to problems. It also increases creative ideation by 60%. While walking, people generate more ideas which are novel and appropriate. Taking a walk just before brainstorming will help too. This is important in education and at work, where high quality thought is needed. Since the creative effect persists even after walking ceases, biological markers may be involved in making the effect long-lasting. Hello. কথা না এবার Physical effects of walking. Chapter 4. Walk alone or walk in a group. Whatever works for you. But what if you don't have anyone to walk with? Inspire a friend or an accountability partner. Even online works. Some apps help track your walking schedule. But once you do something regularly, your brain becomes habituated. If it's a good thing and you feel good about it, you will always remember that feeling. And no matter what, you will try to walk. Walking is the first step to good cardiovascular health. You can walk away from anger, sadness, low energy, and brain blocks. Walking is one of those exercises which can be done anywhere. If you don't have a treadmill, can't walk outside due to whatever reasons, walk at home. Start in front of the television. Count your strides as you walk, and you will be surprised how much you can do just while watching web series. A few things you should know. Moderate intensity walking is around 5 to 8 km per hour. The effect of walking on your body. Walking improves fitness, reduces body fat, increases basal metabolic rate, controls blood pressure, resting blood pressure is lower. Weight loss is with sustained effort, but the calorie intake is also important for net result to be visible. Cardiovascular health improves with lower risk of heart attack and stroke. Diabetes mellitus is prevented with better blood sugar control are reduced. Depression is prevented as endorphins are released to make you happier. Walking will improve insulin sensitivity, glycemic control, and the incidence of obesity. This habit of moderate intensity walking for at least 30 minutes per day is needed to reduce the risk of type 2 diabetes. According to one study, 29% of adults in England have less than 30 minutes dedicated to moderate physical activity. The good news is that even lower intensity walking has beneficial effects on your health. It improves metabolic control, lowers risk of metabolic disease, and enhances the quality of life score significantly. It's easy to do. Anyone can do it anywhere. It's little impact, low risk, and a fundamental activity for most. Sustainability is most important for new habit formation and something you need to do long term. This is where walking as an exercise trumps all others as a zero-cost exercise suitable for all. Remember, start now. Read while walking, at home, not outside. If you're reading, that is. Use a pedometer app on your smartphone if you want to start small. Even a little increase is good. Embrace walking as a part of your daily feel-good routine. Don't miss walking on holidays. Go for walks around the resort or hike trails. The best effects of cardiovascular fitness happens with at least 40 minutes per day every day. But even starting a little physical activity is better than none. How many steps per day are enough? 10,000 steps per day is a reasonable target for healthy adults. The National Obesity Forum UK mentions 3,000 to 6,000 steps per day is sedentary life, not recommended. 7,000 to 10,000 steps is moderately active. More than 11,000 steps per day is very active. National Heart Association of Australia mentions targeting 10,000 steps every day for healthy adults. Gardening for your dose of nature. Nature deficit, is it a problem? Is it a precursor to diseases? What do you think? As a little girl, I studied in a room with a window overlooking the backyard of the big house next door. My favorite times were spent staring at the birds, chirping on top of branches, and the wind making the leaves dance. We had a big jackfruit tree in our own backyard, but nothing else. Gardening was not something we ever thought about. Fast forward to my home in a small town, where I don't have a regular garden, but my balcony garden and lovely bedroom windowsills, which are always full of plants. That could very well be the reason I started writing. At first, I thought it was after becoming a mom. But I became a mother in 2012, when I wrote only prescriptions. That was my daytime job. I was an ENT surgeon working in a medical college. It was in 2014 that I started gardening and writing almost at the same time. On Twitter, a few months back, I saw a question about what kind of writing spaces you would like. Some of the answers were forest view, sea beach view, city view. An overwhelming number wanted the forest and a beach. A few wanted a beach with a forest. Some wanted a bookshop and coffee shop close to the forest. Some wanted the city sounds and bustle for inspiration. From the tweet and its answers, you want to start dreaming. My favorite would be a forest-covered mountain with a beach at the foothills and a coffee shop nearby. Why can't we clean up Mother Earth? Take care of our natural resources. We have beautiful sea beaches in India, green forests and majestic mountains. But what about preserving them? Only when we take care of nature will we find inner peace and true health. The most effortless writing comes when there's inner peace. Does nature help you with that? Does nature help you heal? Does it help you concentrate? Why can't we have vertical forests, eco-friendly forests, terrace gardens and community kitchen gardens in all new building complexes? Why can't we build tree houses with proper care? Technology has come a long way. If we are going to space, how difficult is it to save trees and still make a modern, efficient world? We need development and we need trees. We can have both. It will be difficult in some places, but the more comfortable option of cutting down trees is the wrong one. If there was one way we can choke ourselves to death, that's by cutting down trees. You want to know a quicker way? Cut down more trees. Allowing waste disposal in water reservoirs is harming nature, and there's no going back. It's important to remember that the harm is not reversed by planting an equal number of saplings. A tree and a seedling do not help in the same way in the same time frame. The soil, the water, air, all depends on green cover. As a citizen of this world, you need to be aware of the pollution, causes and effects. A randomized controlled trial about the effect of gardening showed a significant positive impact on health. What are the effects of gardening on health? Reduction of depression, anxiety, stress, mood disturbances, improving basal metabolic rate is well documented. Gardening also increases the sense of community, the level of daily physical activity, cognitive functions, and overall quality of life improves. The direct effect of nature is even more impressive. The attention restoration theory says the natural world restores cognition to a higher level. Exposure to the environment can restore attention fatigue. In this world of too much stuff calling for your attention, you need to restore that sense of wonder. Fidgety children often respond well to gardening with parents. My daughter has been gardening with me for the last 5 years, and she's one of the most patient children I have ever seen. The indirect effect of gardening is even more interesting. Repeated small doses of gardening activity has a cumulative impact on health. The immediate and long-term benefit of gardening on physical fitness and wellness is significant. Better diet. With the interest in organic gardening and the community kitchen gardens, there's more chance people will eat the fruits and vegetables they grow. Since the distance of nutrients from the kitchen is small, the nutrient value and taste are higher. A healthy diet is an essential first peg for good health. Social health is also an important parameter. Gardening together in a community improves social health, emotional health, improves social functioning, increases community feeling and well-being. Gardening and the writing story. Growing up, we had a small cement-covered backyard in our home in Kolkata. We still have the yard. The main attraction of the spot was the surrounding trees of the garden next door. It's now a multi-storied building with no trees. Also, our very own jackfruit tree. The tree bore golden fruits every summer and attracted birds, bees and thieves. The succulent fruit and the typical smell of the ripe jackfruit and the delicious veg dishes made with this unripe variety are summer memories now. The tree stands and I never visited on time to eat the few fruits it bears now. Its branches have been cut and roots bound by cement, but the tree stands tall. From the time I read The Enchanted Forest and The Magic Faraway Tree, I used to imagine climbing the tree one day, but somehow never dared. I could, after all, see the top. It didn't look anywhere near the clouds, however high it was. That tree was the source of many of my daydreams. The only experience I had gardening was keeping alive a pansy plant, making it flower for a school project, and staring at that tree and occasionally watering the jackfruit tree. Then in 2014, I discovered balcony gardening. Zero experience, but a lucky gardener. I did have some plant accidents and I decided to avoid the from seed to plant phase, and after that it has been better. I wanted a green cover screen to avoid looking at discolored buildings and honking cars. Something to be said about human beings' need for nature here. The closer we go to nature, we realize its healing power. We recognize how a calming green environment gives us peace. Green plants soothe the mind, purify the air, and have aerosolized probiotics. Plant source probiotics are supposed to be good for our skin too. Now the question is, does balcony gardening work? The physical effect of planting, plotting, and arranging plants, watering them every day, and taking care of the garden will help keep you physically, emotionally, and mentally happy. When you are stuck for inspiration, imagine a green plant. It does the same thing every day. They take in carbon dioxide and produce oxygen. And it's never dull. They look pretty and they dance when it rains. Scientific research shows that even looking at green plants outside the window of a hospital bed helps lower the duration of hospital stay. Having a green plant painting photograph in the room helps too. Even better if the room has some natural plants. While my brain may be tricking me, the gardening and writing connection is real too. I don't know whether I should stop doing either. Walking and gardening and see which disturbs me most. But the point of living life and staying happy is doing things we love and with the people we love. I have personally experienced the creative touch of nature. I have 2 theories about it. Hear me out, please. The first one has a lot of research done already. It's about probiotics present everywhere. Apparently, they are present everywhere in nature too. When you work in a garden, balcony garden, even for a few moments in a day, the probiotic organisms enter through the air, coat your skin surface. This seems to inspire creativity. Sounds batty, right? Whatever, nature always inspires. If you have heard of Dr. Jagadish Chandra Bose, then this second theory is more straightforward. Plants can feel. It is scientifically proved. In the movie Avatar, you saw the wisdom from a tree that the people could trap into. That I think could be awesome if we could learn to use it. If walking and gardening is helping me write, I don't see why I should stop. Should you write? When I talk about writing, I am not talking about serious prose, poetry books or even blogs. I'm talking about the simple process of writing with a pencil and paper or on the laptop, whatever comes to mind. Maybe a daily to-do list followed by what made your day special the day before. Maybe write a thankfulness journal. Will that work? A few years back, I was co-hosting a weekly thankfulness blog hop. Thankful Thursdays was one of the most satisfying things I blogged about. But then we stopped the blog hop. But I continued with my occasional thankfulness post. Now the question of writing in English. It's not my first language. It takes a very thick skin to even start publishing for the world to see. I feel blessed I could continue. I have been now writing for more than a decade. And with 1,000+ blog posts on my blog, I often wonder how this was even possible. Sometimes we don't know what we dream about. None of us know why we came into this world. But we are all traveling towards the same destination. Just like a circle, our life and death and everything in between are part of a continuum of the ether. What we do in between to make this world a little better is why we are born. Being a little brave every day helps. That's what writing is about. Sharing a little about what I learn every day keeps my interest in learning more. So what if no one reads it? Writing for people to learn and for feeling good may or may not be 2 different things. Some people write a diary every day and are perfectly happy. They find no need to get published. The point of writing is having an inner dialogue with the self, a spiritual connection with the soul. Should you write? When I talk about writing, I'm not talking about serious prose, poetry books, or even blogs. I'm talking about the simple process of writing with a pencil and paper or on the laptop, whatever comes to mind. Maybe a daily to-do list followed by what made your day special the day before. Maybe write a thankfulness journal. Will that work? I am not the right person to give guidance about the nuances of beautiful writing. But being a medical doctor, I can tell you how it helps your mind and body. But before I delve into that, I need to tell you a little secret. Even though I recommend writing as self-improvement, mindfulness and mental health aid, you will find it challenging to write. If you don't like reading, it will be even more tricky. While writing talent may be rare, without the ability to replenish your reading ability, it gets tricky. But why write and not just read? The more difficult it is to write something, the more it makes your brain work. The better it will find age-related brain changes. So how to tap into the creative woman inside you? Doodle. Write down your dream sequences which you can recollect the first thing in the morning. Get organized. Clutter can suffocate creativity. Give away stuff and see how creativity flows in. Collect creative images you admire online, on Pinterest, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. It may be pictures of home decor stuff, DIY, anything. Seeing decor pictures on house is a favorite way for me to unwind. Self-discipline. This one is a no-brainer. I may be talented, lucky, anything. If I don't practice discipline and harness the power of habits, my success has a high risk of being short. Get close to nature. How writing improves health and wellness. Expressive writing and journaling have several health benefits. It enhances immunity, improves anger control, stabilizes mood, decreases pain severity, decreases fatigue, improves interpersonal relationships. In fact, artistic involvement, including music, drawing, and other creative arts, has a short-term and long-term effect on physical and mental health. Improving stress management. A few years back, I was co-hosting a weekly thankfulness blog hop. It was one of the most satisfying things I blogged about. Now the question of writing. Let me tell you something. I studied English only as a subject until my class 12. As an MBBS student, we don't have language subjects. It takes courage and willpower to even start the process of writing and publishing for the world to see. I am blessed. I have been now writing for 5 years, and with 700 blog posts on this blog, I often wonder how this was even possible. Sometimes we don't know what our dreams are. None of us know why we came to this world, but we are all traveling towards the same destination. Just like a circle, our life and death and everything in between are part of a continuum. What we do in between to make this world and spirituality. All of this helps in enhancing people with post-traumatic stress disorder and those recovering from an illness like cancer. A is for attitude here. While reading has helped me discover a lot about myself, writing helped me fill the missing bits. Health is a favorite topic on my blog. It's the soul of it. It's the reason I started writing. But what exactly is wellness, well-being, peace and happiness? Do they go together? Can happiness come without peace and contentment? Is contentment the antithesis of success? And can the pursuit of success and happiness happen together while practicing daily wellness? So many questions whose answer I can't find anywhere. Having the right attitude gives us the extra push, the added strength to climb the mountain. This can-do attitude for the right thing needs to be developed from the right age. An attitude of gratitude is another thing in your wellness cupboard that needs regular airing. You will feel that you are sufficiently grateful, but most often we crib when stressed. So to fight the stress monster, develop an attitude of self-discipline. Focus on an attitude of growth and nurturing. Self-improvement, self-development, self-help, whatever you call it, is a much maligned genre. But it is important because real growth occurs only with inner growth. Without this, everything appears empty. All those who make you feel happy and all that which helps you stay peaceful needs to be embraced and nurtured. nature, and a loving family can go a long way in bolstering wellness. Nature and social environment both are important. I dream of a society where wellness is a daily practice. Just like you need to brush your teeth to keep them sparkling, practice daily wellness to save your soul shining. Attitude of curiosity and learning. Creative hobbies may be missing ingredient in your daily life for health and wellness. Mind, body and spirit needs to tango for inner peace and happiness. Hope you find peace and true happiness with creative learning and maintaining the childlike curiosity. Focus on an attitude of growth and nurturing. Self-improvement, self-development, self-help, whatever you call it, is a much maligned genre. But it is important because real growth occurs only with inner growth. Without this, everything appears empty. All those who make you feel happy and all that which helps you stay peaceful needs to be embraced and nurtured. Nature and a loving family can go a long way in bolstering wellness. Nature and social environment both are important. I dream of a society where wellness is a daily practice. Just like you need to brush your teeth to keep them sparkling, practice daily wellness to save your soul shining. Attitude of curiosity and learning. Creative hobbies may be missing ingredient in your daily life for health and wellness. Mind, body and spirit needs to tango for inner peace and happiness. Hope you find peace and true happiness with creative learning and maintaining the childlike curiosity. How to Walk, Write and Garden for the Healthy Life You Want is a book by Dr. Amrita Basu, first published in 2019 and the second edition was published in 2024. This is the audiobook of the second edition. The author has also written several other books in the nutrition series, and this is the first book in the Wellness Secret series.